Behavior Coaching Basics, Part 2, The Planning Meeting. In the next 3 training videos, you'll learn the components of the coaching cycle and the steps of the planning meeting, the first component of the coaching cycle. As a coach using iBest, your coaching relationship begins when the coordinator assigns you to a teacher-student case, and you then contact the teacher. There are 3 critical components of the coaching cycle: the planning meeting, focused observation, and performance feedback. This is the iBest process. Coaching occurs within iBest at 2 specific stages: during the classroom check and during the implementation of the intervention plan. The coaching cycle can occur multiple times during each of these stages, as long as the teacher needs support. This training is on the planning meeting. Planning meetings are opportunities to build a supportive relationship between the coach and the teacher. Planning meetings are used to share information, identify common goals for a focused observation, and plan the focused observation together. Planning meetings can take many forms, anything from a short exchange to a longer meeting that you schedule with the teacher. Whether your meeting is quick and casual or longer with more depth, you should include the following steps to make your planning meetings effective. Here are the steps to a successful planning meeting. The first component is to determine the focus of the observation. In this step, you and the teacher determine exactly what topics and practices will be included in the observation. To do this, you ask the teacher about her previous knowledge and experience in the topic at hand. When you learn how much she already knows, you can adjust your coaching to help her extend her skills. You also want to decide when and how the focused observations will occur, and decide when and how the feedback sessions will occur. When using iBest, you should schedule your first planning meeting before you do the classroom check. Here's how the steps of the planning meeting apply to the classroom check. The focus for this first planning meeting is to make sure the teacher understands how the classroom check will be used. You should discuss the coach's role and the teacher's role in the assessment of the student and the implementation of the behavior support plan. Start by asking the teacher to discuss what she already knows about the classroom check. Review the components of the checklist and encourage questions. Adjust your coaching to help her extend her skills. For example, if the teacher is very knowledgeable about classroom management, then you should move quickly through the information. Make sure she understands what you'll be observing in her classroom as you look for each of the components on the checklist. When you schedule the classroom check, you'll want to pick a time and day when the student of concern is likely to have the challenging behavior. You'll need to schedule a feedback meeting to review the completed classroom check with the teacher. Looking ahead, if the teacher needs to address behavior management practices that are identified by the classroom check, you could also schedule another meeting to review the interventions that you plan together as a result of the check. The next coaching opportunity usually comes after the teacher and the team have developed the behavior intervention plan for the student. The coach and teacher should meet to discuss how the teacher will implement the behavior intervention plan before she begins to implement it. Your planning meeting includes the same steps. The focus of this meeting should be to support the teacher and make sure she understands the behavior intervention plan so that she can comfortably and confidently implement it in the classroom. You should let the teacher know that the focus of your observation will be to see the implementation of the behavior intervention plan so that you will be able to provide supportive feedback. Find out if the teacher already knows and understands the intervention that you and she have chosen. Ask the teacher if she would like you to model the intervention before she uses it with the student. Sometimes during the planning meeting, you'll learn that the teacher isn't sure how to implement a behavior strategy. So it might be helpful for you to model the intervention. One way you can do this is to role-play the strategy. While the teacher plays the student, the coach plays the teacher and models the intervention. Then the coach and the teacher reverse roles. A teacher who is learning a new intervention needs to see it in action and then have repeated opportunities to practice it. Sometimes a coach can model a slight modification to an intervention that will help the intervention succeed with a student. When the teacher feels ready to implement the intervention, ask her when she will begin to use it. Then schedule your focused observation. some teachers prefer to practice the intervention before the coach observes the class. Other teachers would rather have you in the classroom when they first start the intervention. Be sure to confirm the date and time with her. The feedback session needs to occur shortly after the observation, so you'll want to confirm the exact time and location of that meeting with the teacher. Let's review what we've learned in this training video. Coaching is more effective when all three components of the coaching cycle occur regularly: the planning meeting, focused observation, and performance feedback. In iBest, coaching cycles typically occur during the classroom check and during the implementation of the behavior intervention plan. Planning meetings can take many forms: short and casual, or longer with more depth. For each planning meeting, you should include these steps. Determine the focus of the observation. Decide when and how the focused observations will occur, and decide when and how the feedback sessions will occur. Continue to Part 3, Focused Observation.